yellow. So, this is a book, in case you couldn't tell. I wonder what's inside said book. Beats me. I was supposed to make this really clever, but me struggling to open the book kind of ruined it. So, yeah, it's the creatures that live in my world. That's pretty much... Well, obviously, you know, they're like all the everyday, regular... I can't say boring animals like here on Earth, because a good chunk of them aren't boring. But let's be honest, a lot of them are boring. So yeah. The planet that all of my stories take place on is called the Everrealm. I forget if I mentioned that or not. I should probably look back at my other 2 lore videos to see what I said, so then I can remember. But I don't want to, so... Dragons, obviously. Because, you know, why wouldn't there be dragons? I mean, really. Also, do you like the little swirly bits I did? I thought it was rather fancy. Yeah. In case you're wondering about this, these are all the colors that they come in. Right here. That's it. Right there. No, don't look there. Look right here. Don't make me sit on you. There we go. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's just how many meters... hold on. Is that... 18 meters. They grow up to 18 meters tall and long. They breathe fire, obviously. I don't know why they wouldn't. They have a tendency to hoard shiny objects, which I think you should already know. I'm pretty sure in one of my videos I said that they need to consume a lot of fire crystals and fire lilies to be able to breathe fire. I forget how I said how they fly, though. Because, you know, we only have the best inconsistencies here. Yeah, some of them, when they get old enough, they can be intelligent enough to talk, which is something. And oh yeah, they also purr like cats when you scratch them in just the right places. Which I did steal that idea off of another ASMR artist. I would mention who, but I really can't remember. It was 3 a.m. and I was half asleep. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Wyverns, subspecies of dragon. They spit out acid, have a spiky thing at the end of their tail. They aren't as intelligent, but they are far more aggressive. They grow up, these are the colors. And they grow up to 16 meters long and tall. So not nearly as, well, yeah, nearly, but not as big. Anyways, Nagas. Yeah. Snakes people with, you know, human half tops, thingy-mabobs. Colors. They can grow up to 8 meters long. There are 2 types. Is venomous the one where they bite you and then you get... Wait, I was about to say poisoned. It's in the name, Matei. Yes, in the name. And there are also constrictors. In case you don't know. In case you don't, okay? I'm not saying you don't, but in case. just in case, you know? When you know, I'm rambling again, God. I don't swear. I don't know what you're talking about. You have no proof. The constrictors wrap around you and squeeze you to death. Oh yeah, they can also dislocate their jaws and swallow you whole. And just like how there are sea snakes, there are sea nagas. So yeah. Anyway, sea serpents. I don't know what you expect from me. They're just like giant sea snakes. They grow up to 17 meters long. That have gills. Yeah, like right there. They're a bit blurry, but they're there. And stuff. Colors. Leviathans. They grow up to 2 kilometers long. Don't ask me how long that is, because I personally have a hard time comprehending it. Mostly because I don't have a visual aid of how long that is. I mean, if I had a visual aid, I would probably be able to get it, but I don't. Colors. And, yeah, they're always hungry because of how big they are, I guess. Merfolk. Colors. They can grow up to 4 meters. Yeah, they're merfolk. Centaurs. Colors. 6 meters. Yeah, they're centaurs. Unicorns. They can't talk, but they can talk to you telepathically with their magic. Colors. 5 meters. It can grow up to 5 meters long and tall. Fancy name. Yeah. Phoenixes. They can catch themselves on fire and not be harmed. They grow up to 1 meter long and tall. Blah, 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 blah. They can live up for over 100 years, and when they die of old age, they crumble to dust and then come back. However, if they don't die of old age, like sickness or an arrow through the heart, they die forever. Thunderbirds. Natural enemies of phoenixes. They have 2 pairs of wings, and when they clap their wings together, they can clap them so hard that sounds like thunder. It's the name Thunderbirds. They can create electricity from their bodies, grow up to 1 meter tall, and unlike the phoenixes, which scavenge berries and seeds, they eat meat, which includes phoenixes, assuming they can beat them in a fight. Pegasi. They're just horses with wings. I'm not sure what you expect me to say about them. Bugbears. A bear with bug wings. Enough bug eyes. Like, not actual bug eyes, but, you know what I mean. And a bee stinger. Yeah, don't want to mess with that. Arachne. Colors. Yeah, I'm not sure what you expect me to say. They're basically just spider bottom half, human top half, with 8 eyes, like spider. Spider-Man. Literal Spider-Man. Harpy. They have no arms. Their arms are wings. Colors. Grow up to bird feet, tail feathers, feathers covering their junk, normal human skin stuff on their face, and upper half, and stuff. Fairies. I'm not sure what you expect me to say. I mean, they're fairies. Trolls. They won't let you buy unless you pay them. They won't let you cross the bridge unless you pay them. That's their gig. That's their schnig. They're giggity schniggity. 50 centimeters. Ogres. What are you doing in my swamp? No. Why did I do that? Oh god, am I gonna make a Shrek audio? I'm totally gonna make a Shrek audio for next April Fools. Anyways. They are carnivorous. I blocked that part out for obvious reasons. I left this area open for interpretation. They make cloves, have clubs, and eat anything they can, beat. Goblins. They're basically just green human. Yeah, green humans with pointy ears. I'm not sure what to say here. Zombie. No, Yeti. I thought that was zombie. No, Yeti. Yeah, it's a Yeti. Yeti that lives on top of cold areas. I was gonna say mountains, but no, not just mountains. Cold areas. Wendigos, yeah. They're Wendigos. They eat meat and look like they're undead. So, sirens. They have longer tails than merfolk, sharper teeth, and you know the rest. They sing a song, they lure you, and dead. Borrowers. Basically 5 centimeter tall humans that prefer not to be seen, do chores around the house in exchange for you letting them have food, except you don't know that they're taking your food, and you don't really notice the small things that they do, like retying buttons and returning, like getting berries for you and other such things. Yeah, and they don't want to be stepped on, or at least the ones that don't have a foot fetish, at least. Bat ponies. They're ponies with bat wings. 1 meter tall. They're nocturnal. I'm not really sure what you expect from me. Alicorns. They're an immortal species. There's not many of them left, though, because another immortal species kind of got in the way of their peaceful existence. As unfortunate as it is. Man, that's a lot of colors. So, yeah, they don't need telepathy to speak. They can speak normal tongue. Like, when you know. Hydras. You cut one head off, 2 more grow in its place. Yeah, there's not really much about this one. Except it did evolve from, like, dragons. Minotaurs. Bull people. They just kind of exist. Werewolves. They're forced to turn into wolf people during the full moon. They can control it any other night. And they're human-looking during the day. Cyclops. Bigger human, 8 meters tall, with just one eye. I'm not sure what there is to it other than that. Griffin. Front half of an eagle, back half of a lion, with some feathers at the end of the tail because I thought it would look nice. Hippogriff. You know, front half of an eagle, back half of a horse. Treants. Tree people who guard forests and stop too many trees from being cut down. Chimeras. You know, head of a goat, back half of a goat, front half of a tiger, with saber teeth, head of a tiger, tail of a snake, a sneck. Sphinx. They guard the pyramids in Sobal that holds the treasure of the gods. I think I already explained that. Ghouls. Yeah, they're undead. They eat humans and other, like, things like orcs and elves and dwarves and whatnot. Imps. A species of demons that was enslaved by bigger demons. The goddess of creation, the universe, and life saved them. And now they spend the rest of their days just playing playful pranks and generally just enjoying life. The Kraken, a demigod, an offspring of the god of the sea. He doesn't really do much other than sink ships for his own, like, fun and entertainment. Manticores, body of a lion, wings of a dragon, and tail of a scorpion. You don't want to mess with this thing. Especially with its whopping 6 meters and... yeah. Anywho, leprechauns, distant cousins of fairies. They tried to defeat the goddess of cold and winter to make it stop winter. They failed because of, well, her being a goddess and having an army of living gargoyles, and now they have pots of golds waiting for them to pay up because now she forces them to pay taxes once every year with a giant frickin' pot of gold, which they hide at the end of a rainbow so then people don't come around and steal it. Hippocampus, top half horse, bottom half fish. Something smells fishy. Yes, I did. Behemoth. Front half, sharp teeth, dog-eared sloth. Hands, back half, I don't know, alligator. Oh yeah, they grow up to like 100 meters. Cockatrice, head of a chicken, body of a snake, wings of a chicken, legs of a chicken. Don't look them in the eyes, because they'll turn you to stone. Elves, do I really need to explain? Jackalopes, jackrabbits with horns of an antelope. Giants, do I really need to explain? Vampires, do I really need to explain? Wait, I just had a thought. Okay, so you know how moonlight is just sunlight reflected off the moon? Why don't vampires burn in that? And since moonlight is just sunlight reflected off the moon, why can't werewolves just turn into werewolves, into wolves in the daytime? Anyways, dwarves, do I really need to explain? Well, okay. They do have like a steampunky kind of society. But other than that, do I really need to explain? Orcs, do I really need to explain? Living gargoyles. In the following war between living gargoyles and leprechauns. A lot of the gargoyles were separated and are now just roaming across every land, doing whatever. But some of them did manage to make it back to, the goddess of winter. Living gnomes. Gnomes. Created by Gaia to protect gardens. Because back in the day, your gardens were not safe. A spirit of the eagle, a member of the spirits of the wild. They're in charge of keeping the balance between nature. That includes fighting off wraiths, rogue wraiths, who, try to take too many souls. Spirit of the deer, another spirit of the wild. Ignore those colors. I definitely did not get rid of something that was already on this page and replace it with the spirit of the wild. Nope. Yeah, did they also help dead people get revenge on, like, killers or something, or find objects of importance to them, or get to places of importance to them, that sort of thing. Spirit of the wolf. Yeah, this is the spirit of the wolf. Spirit of nature. Forget this thing. And don't look at my dirty nails, please. They're supposed to guard the tree of life with the very existences as well. Spirit of the bear. Spirit of the wild. Fun. Yeah, they're also supposed to, like, investigate anomalies in nature. I think you'll need an example. Like, let's just say a volcano has been dormant for thousands of years and shows no sign of waking up again. And it just suddenly erupts out of nowhere. That's a nature anomaly that they will be sent to go, like, check out. Anyway, planet guardians. They're basically planets that have life on them are, in fact, alive. And the dead ones used to have life on them, but thanks to a certain species that we don't talk about and is no longer around, they're all dead. Those ones are dead. A big chunk of planets are dead. But the ones that are still alive have planet guardians, and they're the spirits of the planet. They come in a lot of different colors. I wonder if they taste the colors. Taste the rainbow, I don't swear. Feathered serpent, leader of the spirits of the wild. A general of the army of life. Muckies. They're peaceful grazers that eat, like, plants and stuff. The Mother Gremlin. She is not a demigod, but she cannot age or get sick. She is the mother of all gremlins, and she spends her time killing things. Ellen Trekkins. They have, like, 3 snake heads that breathe fire, body of a vulture. Now, see, I found, like, 3 different descriptions of what this thing looks like, so I just mashed them all together, and now we have this monstrosity. One described it as a giant vulture. One only described it as having 3 snake heads, and the other described it as breathing fire. So, mush them all together. Boom. Marrows. They're just this. They don't really have, like, a very advanced society yet. Anyways, changelings. That's where things start to get a bit spicier. So basically, let's just say you're in love with someone. They will kidnap that someone, shapeshift to look like that someone, and then feed off your love for them until you can no longer feel love for that person. Let's just say you have a baby, yeah? They kidnap the baby, do whatever with it. They don't really care what happens to the baby. They transform into the baby and feed off the parents' love for that baby until they can no longer feel love for said baby, and then they move on to someone else. Unless you love yourself, then I guess they can just transform into you. Timberwolves, created by Gaia to help protect forests and things. And yeah, they're giant wolves made out of timber with breaths that smells really bad. Owl bears, bears that are owls that are bears. They have tiny little wings that are adorable, but they're not adorable. If they're hungry, they will kill you. So, and they are natural enemies of Timberwolves. Genies. Basically, they were once free demons, but then, then they kind of tried to mess things up a little in the Everrealm, and so Gaia was, the goddess of creation, was just like, oh, heck nah. We're not having any of that. And so she kind of trapped them into lamps and forced them to grant 3 wishes to anyone who rubbed its head to lamps. Anyways, Kelpies. They act all innocent and cute. But then when you try to get on, they melt you to their skin, and then they drown you, and then they eat you. So yeah, best to stay away from those. Zombas. Basically, I think I told you this once, but there was this one really bad necromancer who wanted to take over everything, turn everyone undead, and, well, he kind of failed and disappeared, but his last orders to his undead army were to just kill everything alive. So yeah. Ghosts. Do I really need to explain? Ghosts are, ghosts. Pans. Bottom half goat, top half human with goat horns and goat ears. They like to play pan pipes. Get it, pans? I think that's actually what they're called, but I thought the pun was pretty good. Anyways, yeah, nomadic peoples. Pixies. They are tree spirits. They cannot survive without a tree. If the pixie is living inside of the tree gets cut down, the pixie will start to die. If the pixie can't get to a new tree, it will die. If, let's just say, the nearest tree is another pixie who doesn't like said pixie that's trees got chopped down. If they don't let that pixie in, the pixie will die. Which is why you will sometimes see, but if they do get let in, that's why you will sometimes see, the same tree splitting off into 2 ways. Anyways. Basilisks. Don't look it in the eyes. It turns you to stone. Don't get bitten. It has very bad poison. Basically, stay away from it. I can never. Amethyrs. Basically snakes with wings that evolved from wyverns. They also purr. Oh, wyverns also purr. Did I forget to mention that? I think so. Angels, warriors and messengers of the gods. Demons, enemies of the gods. Who is led by I should say was led by a god who also hated the other gods. Lesser feathered serpents, children of the feathered serpent. Yeah. Fey beasts. One eye, snake tail, the air they breathe. When they breathe out, they create toxic fumes that kill everything around them in a matter of minutes. Santa Claus. He's a demigod. He used to make weapons when orcs were a problem, but now he makes toys. The Easter Bunny. Used to be a human, died protecting Santa. I know I said his... I made new origins for the Easter Bunny, okay? Because everything is subject to change. If I want it to change, it will change. Okay. Because this is my world and screw you. Anyways, now he was reincarnated as a bunny by the goddess of creation for his hard work. And now he makes chocolate eggs. The Tooth Fairy. It's the Tooth Fairy. Jack Frost, protector of Santa Claus. He's the son of the goddess of winter and stuff. They got mad at each other. Now he started protecting Santa Claus because she didn't really like Santa Claus. And now he does it because he genuinely cares about the Claus family. Sandman gives good dreams. Magma creatures. Creatures made out of magma. You can find them near the center of every planet. Even the dead ones. Which would technically count as life. So why are the planets dead? Why don't the planets have a planet guardian anymore? Maybe they just were made? Because of the magma? Well, that means the planets are coming back to life. That's good. Krampus. It's Krampus. Kidnaps naughty children. Turns them into servants, for the lack of a better word. Shadow creatures, from the shadow realm. They come in many different shapes and sizes. Slimes. They come in many different colors, and the intelligent ones that are born smarter than the rest transform into more humanoid shapes. Living skeletons. Basically, they can either be reanimated by necromancers, or ghosts can, inhabit them. Sea monsters. They were like servants of the god of the sea. They were supposed to try and free him a long time ago, but then they, got a will of their own and hey, we don't want to do this. So he locked up his prison because he was imprisoned. I'm not going to say why until we get to his page. So yeah, eventually they were all trapped inside of a cavern for a little bit, but then there was an earthquake opening the cavern, and when the merfolks found them, they were just like, "What is that? Is it dangerous? We should kill it just in case. I see a spider on my roof, so I'm gonna be right back. Thanks." Hi, beauties. The spider's gone. No, it didn't, run away. When I say it's gone, I mean it's it's gone. Never gonna have to deal with it again. So, yay. Anywho. So, yeah, they were all just like, "Ew, what is that? Is it dangerous? We should kill it just in case." And so a whole war between merfolk and sea monsters started. The sea monsters almost went extinct. But then the goddess of creation stepped in, because that's kind of her job, to make sure that, nobody does anything like that. Moth people took inspiration from the Mothman. So, I'll be right back. Okay, so, Dark and Twisted Whispers, Bakadir Moth Boy roleplay thing? Imagine that, but as an entire species. It's a species of adorable cuteness, and I can't handle it. I love it so freaking much. I can barely handle that moth that I subsequently forget the name of, because, I haven't watched it in a while. I really need to watch it again. I'm going through a lot right now. But yeah, imagine that, but as an entire freaking species. It's adorable. Ooh, a lamp. I'm gonna touch it. Ow, that's hot. Island turtle. A giant sea turtle, but with plants on back. It hibernates for a few decades. Plants grow on back. Its shell stays above the surface because its food stays near the surface anyways. So why would it ever need to go any deeper? Quest beast. Head of snake. Legs of llama. Front half of cheetah. Back half of lion. Selkies. Seal people. Capactles. I don't remember what they are. All I know is that they look nothing like this. I took some creative liberties because all I remember is that they looked like giant either crocodiles or alligators. So, yeah, I took some creative liberties here. Because this is my book and my world and I can do whatever I want. And my mother also gave me a chocolate egg before Easter, which was nice. Just thought I should let you know. Just thought I should brag to all you poor fools who don't get chocolate early. This is the magic crystal. It holds the realm of magic inside of it. It's the source of all magic. And yeah. It's the best, most powerful magic user ever. Second place goes to Goddess of Creation. Third place goes to her son. Dark fairies. They are from the Shadow Realm. They like to kill people for fun. Okay. People with arachnophobia, like me, are gonna hate this. Giant spiders. 2 meters long and tall. Giant arachnids. They are a hive mind species with a queen. Wanna know who that queen is? The Spider Queen. An offspring of the god of the sea. An even bigger spider with wings. With skull on butt and spikes on head. Grows up to 9 freaking meters long and tall. Why did I make this? Fire elementals. Fire. Earth elementals. Water elementals. Living water. And air. Almost dropped my phone. Air elementals. When you know, you know, you know. Oh yes, these are Willow Wisps. If you ever find yourself lost, they might decide to help you get to a path. How? Snake with heads at both ends. If you want to try to pronounce that word, Ampisbaeha. If you want to try and pronounce that, be my guest. Gollums. Lots of villages have them to protect them from, ghouls and vampires and werewolves and orcs and stuff. Sandworms. They're giant worms that live in deserts. They can grow up to 29 meters long and tall. Well, not tall, long. Ice worms. Giant worms that live in ice. They can grow up to the same size as the sandworms. Dire wolves. They used to be, normal wolves, but then they started going extinct. So they did something that no other creature in a long time has done. They evolved magic. They evolved to use it. Which, if you get even one thing wrong in that kind of evolution, it could just, completely destroy your species. But they did it, and now they can live up to 1,000 years. But when they die, they die. If they're, say, in the middle of a hunt, they will just, die. They will kick the bucket. Let's just say they're, like, in the middle of trying to bite down on some prey, they will just die. Their soul will just leave their body. At the very second they turn 1,000, they will just die. Okay? Alright. Puckwudgies from American folklore, which I wasn't aware they had any. Which, now that I think about it, was kind of stupid of me to assume. Well, I didn't just think about it, actually. I thought about it a little while ago. So yeah, puckwudgies. They grow up to only 9 centimeters tall. They live in hobbit holes. And yeah, neckos. Some neckos with extra powerful magic can turn into cats. But otherwise, they have the same senses, like, they have the same agility, the same hearing, the same smell. And yeah. Yeah. Pumpkin King. I do believe I already told you about him. Kirin. Basically Chinese unicorns. That's basically the gist of it. Nine-tailed foxes, or kitsune, depends who you ask in the Everrealm. They are the, immortal species that, destroyed most of the alicorns. Because, they didn't really see eye to eye, so, yeah. Anywho, guardian lions. They're like golems, but except extra powerful mages and magicians and whatever created them to help protect the royal family of whatever kingdom. The Chinese one that I forget the name of. Parasprites. One of the most colorful creatures in the world. They eat something, and then they cough up a hairball, and then that hairball becomes a parasprite. Giant eagles. They're just that, giant eagles. There's not really much to them other than they're eagles and they're giant. Blood bats. They're, they have like a starry-looking night sky under their wings. They have blood-red glowing eyes. They drink blood. They're like 5 meters long and tall and whatever. And yeah. Cloud creatures. They can change their size depending on the kind of prey that they're hunting. They drink water from clouds and eat whatever they can that is flying in the clouds. Cerberus, the pet of the god of death and destruction. Or should I say, like, bodyguard. And protector of limbo and whatnot. And yes, I know that's not actually Cerberus's job, but this is my world, and I can do what I want. And if I want Cerberus to do that, he's going to do that. Anywho, hellhounds, an invasive species from hell that were brought over by demons. Because what the hell? Rocks. ROCS. They're giant birds of prey growing up to 7 meters long and tall, but they're most famous for hunting young dragons and eating them. So yeah, Mrs. Claus, she invented the first pistols, Yeah, she's a demigod as well. The reindeer, like Rudolph and that, they aren't demigods, but they were made immortal and the ability to fly. And Rudolph was born after the whole thing with the orcs, so I have an itch on my hand. Okay, nifflers. burrowing little creatures that are sometimes trained by trolls because, they're attracted to shiny things. And so trolls train them to steal shiny things. Thestrals. Basically hairless horses with long tails and bat wings. How in the frickety frack do you say that? I know it's a creature from Harry Potter, like the last two ones were, but how do you say that? I forgot how. Whatever, I'll just go roll with it. Zoowus. Zouwus. Yeah, Zoowus. That their tail kind of glows, I guess. Hog goblins. They're small goblins with the face of a hog. There's not really much to do with that. Duraclaws. They're birds, but they can teleport. They can't control where they teleport, but they can teleport, which is how they evade danger and whatnot. My hand is really just itchy. Damn it, I lost my... Oh no, never mind, I didn't. Mert rats. If you step on them, they have fast enough reflexes to eat the flesh off your foot before you can even react. And if they bite you, fire will come out of your anus. Swooping Eadvils. They're basically just giant butterflies with fangs that like eating flesh with armor and whatever these things are. Dragonflies. There are subspecies of dragons that are the size of flies. Haha, see? I made an entire species just to make a pun. Haha. Magic eaters. From a time long before, the goddess of creation created the universe now. And they eat magic and stuff. Floresa, Queen of the Fairies, the first fairy, and made a demigod for reasons that I don't remember. Medusa, she was a vile woman, not gonna lie, and she liked murdering people, and so she was punished by the goddess of creation herself to look like this and turn people to stone whenever she looks at them in the eyes, which isn't the most ideal thing for Medusa, surprisingly, because she actually kind of liked, to play with the dead bodies of her victims, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna get into any more detail with that. Anyways, Wyrms. W-Y-R-M. They have tiny little legs. But don't mess with them, because they can grow up to be... What number is that? Why do I make things so complicated? I'm gonna go on a whim and say that that's 18 meters long. Wait, no. That looks more like... I'm gonna guess 16 meters? Yeah, 16 meters. Gnarls, distant cousins of porcupines and hedgehogs. Don't ask how or why. That doesn't matter. This is my universe, and what I say goes. So, they can produce electricity from their quills. Bowtruckles. They live on trees. Blimpies, landfish. Yeah, that's basically it. They're just landfish. Grindylaws. You know, they live in water. Grow up to 10 centimeters. Hot dogs. They have the face of a frog. Although I did take some creative liberties. I gave them little flappy things so then they can glide with some little horns and fur and stuff. They have the tongues of frogs, though. Oni. They are what happens when a human and a demon breed. They have the soul of a human, but the same magical potential as a demon. So fun. Twice the danger. Mummies! Yeah. They're basically just smarter zombies. The Headless Horseman. I already explained him. Bunyips. The only description I could find was that they have a large mouth and the tail of a crocodile. So excuse me if I take some creative liberties by giving them a fin on their back and this. Maniguas. Giant cats with giant teeth and giant claws. Deathworms. 17-meter long worms with razor-sharp teeth. Indrix. They have feathers on their back legs, and their horns are indestructible, unless you're a god or wield a weapon created by the gods. Draconics. You know, they have they're horse dragons. That's basically what they are. They're horse dragons. Dracula, the first vampire. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that vampires and werewolves aren't like things that were evolved. They were like experiments from humans. Like, oh hey, I wonder if we kill someone and then we bring them back. I wonder what happens. And the experiment went two ways, creating werewolves and vampires. Anyways, this is Dracula, the first vampire. He took the power of a demigod, and now he's immortal. Anyways, Discord. He predates all the gods, except for the god of the ocean and the goddess of creation. And Spirit of Chaos. The Boogeyman. He stole power, and he tried to kidnap Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus once for his own evil purposes. And winter chillas. They're peaceful herbivores, but during the night they turn into winter zillas, which are ravenous creatures that will eat and kill anything they can find. Draconics. Here come, like, my two furry species. Because honestly, who doesn't want a hot dragon guy? Am I right? Anyways, the Draconics. They're basically just humanoid dragons. Furfolk. You know. Furfolk. Furries. Wraiths. Servants of the god of death and destruction. They help him collect souls from across the universe. Lava worm. Distant cousin of the death worm. They live in lava. Drakes. Basically like dragons without wings. They breathe fire. Skrit. 1 meter tall humanoid rat mouse things. He is the Lorax. He speaks for the trees. And I'd like to say a few lines, if you please. He's the ambassador for the Army of Life. And yes, I added the Lorax because, you know, the Lorax is cool. Ophiotoruses. They're these things. And I know this probably isn't what they look like, but the only description I could find was the My Little Pony version. Zillant. Nice voice crack. Zillants. Front half with legs and wings, and back half with no legs. Opposite of wyverns, even though they evolved from wyverns. They breathe out like poisonous gas, which is also flammable. So when they scrape their talons on the ground, the gas explodes. Kobolds, they recently evolved from dwarves. And now they have like a trading confederation going on. Jotun, ancient relatives of giants that aren't nearly as big. And were nearly hunted to extinction by humans, but are now coming back. Cupid, he used to be, your everyday, ordinary angel. But then, while, demons were, sending in an army, he was the only one to help the goddess of creation defeat them. And so, she made him into a demigod. And now he goes across the universe spreading love. Flesh-eating plants. They're flesh-eating plants. Berberacas. Their mouths are so big that they can lower the water of streams and lakes and things. So then their prey can come closer to them, so then they can jump out of the water and get ya. Or they just attack boats with lots of fish on them. El Hambre Caimans. Half human, half alligator people. I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but Lua Carcol. It's French. Worm snakes. Impundalus. They drink blood, and they can summon a lightning bolt. So fun. Gremlins, don't feed them after midnight or they will murder you. Kamapas, they will eat anything and everything in their path. Ninky Nankas, they are an invasive species from hell, because what the hell? Same pun twice. Okay, it's either pronounced Mokele Mbembe or Mukele Mbembe. I don't know which, nor do I care to find out. Like, if someone wants to tell me, that's cool, but I don't really care. And yes, I took some creative liberties by adding fins at the back of the tail end here, and making the mouth look like that, and saying that I can spit out acid. Anyways, Neuricabes. Basically, nobody knows where they come from, how they're made. All we know is that if they appear in front of you, you can't go around them because they'll just stretch themselves out. They look like a wall. And, basically you have to find and poke their feet to make them go away. Owizodals. They have human-like hands at the end of both legs and at the end of their tail. Have huge freaking teeth. Avatar of Pride. Demon thing. A giant one-eyed snake with fangs. Avatar of Greed. This. Avatar of Gluttony. This. Avatar of Envy. Avatar of Lust. Avatar of Wrath. Avatar of Sloth, which I actually made the face look pretty cute, so I tried to add the scary looking eye to make it more intimidating. Toate? Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. Basically, they have an insatiable hunger and will eat anything in sight, and they're actually not an invasive species from hell, but they are an invasive species to hell that actually managed to survive, which is definitely a first. Macras. From what I remember me getting them from Hindu mythology, I think. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, they're basically like elephant crocodile creatures. Bennu birds, Egyptian phoenixes, except I took some creative liberties. Some. So when they're not shining a brilliant gold, they are catching themselves in blue fire, which is hotter than regular fire. And no, it is not colder than regular fire. I literally just said that it's hotter than regular fire. You frickin' dildos. Giant scarabs. Scarab beetles. You know, they're just giant scarab beetles. Giant quolts. Giant frogs with sharp teeth and like to eat things. Serpopards. Jaguar creature with a neck as long as a snake. Dark elves, also from the Shadow Realm, only appear in a solar eclipse. Ichthyocentaurs. Human top half. Horse leggies at front, and then a fishy tail. Shapti warrior. You know, it's a Shapti warrior. It protects the royal family of Sobal. And then a quolt. Basically like humanoid sentient frog with poisonous skin, venomous, whatever. Gerda, god of creativity, knowledge, and art and stuff. The Grim Reaper, god of death and destruction. Thor, god of storms and lightning and stuff. His sister, the Snow Queen, goddess of winter and frost and cold and stuff. Lucifer, god of war and chaos. Used to rule demons, but now is reformed. Peacemaker, brother of Lucifer. God of peace and harmony. And is dating the goddess of creation. Wait, no, I can't say god, because it's a deity. Sorry. I made this character, I can't even remember. Yeah. A god is like a male. A goddess is a female. A deity is neither. So yeah. Cthulhu, god of the ocean. Used to be married to the god of creation. Goddess of creation, but then he went all like psycho yandere. And tried to destroy everything, so then he could have her undivided attention. She was just, no way. You are not breaking my stuff. And so she kind of trapped him until he was released. And because Lucifer tried to team up with him, and they were both planning on betraying each other, but they were stopped. Anyways, then there's Gaia, goddess of creation, the universe, fertility, all that fun jazz. Then there's the Nothing. The Nothing never was anything, nor will it ever be anything. The Nothing is the start, yet it is not. It is the finish, but it is not. The Nothing is nothing, yet the Nothing is where it all started. But the Nothing is where nowhere started. Makes sense? No? Good. And this is just, it's just kind of like a map. A very undetailed map. Anyways, that's it. That's all. There's no more pages. Not even a secret page. So, yeah.